Welcome, families, to Storytime at the Harvard Museums of Science and Culture. If you've attended our program before, welcome back. If this is your first time, we're glad you're here. We hope this program engages everyone in your family, from the little kids to the grown-ups. We read picture books that you might find at your local library or at school that connect to something in the museums. First, we'll read the story, then look closely at some objects from the museums. We hope you enjoy today's story. Welcome to Storytime. I'm so glad you're here today. My name is Carol. Do you like to play games? Sure you do. Well, what kind of games do you like? Maybe tag or baseball, chess, capture the flag? How about hide and go seek? What kind of games do you think animals in the ocean might play? Well, today's story is about a game played by a group of friends who live in the ocean. It's Octavia and her purple ink cloud. The book is written by Donna and Doreen Rathmel and illustrated by Connie McLennan. And the book was published by Sylvan Dell Publishing in 2006. We are reading the story with permissions from Arbordale Publishing. Before we begin our story, let's look at Octavia. What kind of animal is she? Yes, she's an octopus. Octopus have been around for a long time. The earliest fossils of octopuses are from 296 million years ago. Octopuses have big brains, and they can navigate through mazes and solve problems and remember solutions and take things apart just for fun. They even have distinct personalities. So let's find out about Octavia and her friends. What do you see on this first page? Do you see clouds, a rainbow of clouds? Yeah. And do you see an animal that is swimming closer? Right here? Well, that's our hungry predator. What do you think it is? A white shark. Right, so keep an eye out in the pages and see if you can see it get closer. Octavia Octopus lived alone in a small, secret cave in a colorful coral reef. She had many friends, so she was never lonely. She and her friends played a game called How to Hide from a Hungry Creature. See all her friends here? They're going to be in the story. Octavia clapped all 8 arms when Paul, porcupine fish, puffed up to show how big he could be to confuse a hungry creature. He was so big and so prickly that Octavia knew Paul would be safe. Octavia bragged that she could squirt a purple ink cloud to escape. "Watch me," she said as she squirted. Do you think it'll be a purple ink cloud? What color is it? A yellow ink cloud. "Oh no, I better practice," she cried. That's for sure, she better practice. Octavia laughed when Sandy Seahorse showed how he could hold on to a plant with his tail. He swayed in the water like he was part of the plant. She knew that he would be safe. Octavia boasted that she could squirt a purple ink cloud to escape, so she squirted. Do you think it's going to be purple ink cloud this time? Let's see. An orange ink cloud. "Oh no, I better practice," she sighed. Do you see in the background that shark is getting closer? Octavia cheered when Freddie Flounder changed colors and hid on the ocean floor. Freddie's eyes went in different directions to watch all around him. Octavia explained that she could squirt a purple ink cloud to escape. So she squirted. What color do you think it's going to be? Do you think it'll be purple this time? A green ink cloud. Oh no, I'd better practice, she moaned. Octavia giggled when Greta Green Sea Turtle showed how she could hide in the grass. It was hard to see where she was. Octavia claimed that she could squirt a purple ink cloud to escape. So she squirted. What color will it be this time? A red ink cloud. Oh no, I better practice, she groaned. Octavia smiled when Carolyn Clownfish showed how she could dart into a sea anemone to hide. Octavia knew that the sea anemone's stinging tentacles would help protect Carolyn. Octavia hoped that she could squirt a purple ink cloud to escape. So she squirted. Do you think it'll be purple ink cloud this time? A blue ink cloud. Oh no, she said. I'd better practice, she whined. Can you see behind that blue ink cloud? What do you see is coming closer? Octavia was jumping up and down as Polly Parrotfish showed how she could hide in the holes of the colorful coral reef. Just then, a great big hungry shark swam around the reef, heading right toward them. Paul Porcupine Fish puffed up to confuse the shark. Sandy Seahorse held on tight to a plant. Freddie Flounder hid on the ocean floor. Greta Green Sea Turtle hid in the grass. Carolyn Clownfish darted into the sea anemone. Polly Parrotfish hid in a small hole in the reef. Octavia turned white with fright and thought, I'd better squirt my purple ink cloud so I can swim away. She thought very hard and she squirted. A great big dark purple ink cloud. The shark couldn't see Octavia as she swam home to her cozy, safe cave. Phew, she thought, it's a good thing I practiced. And the great big hungry shark swam away with an empty belly. That's the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed that story. It's a good thing that Octavia and her friends practiced their skills with their game, How to Hide from a Hungry Creature. For many of these animals, the skills they practiced were ways to hide or camouflage themselves from danger. Octavia and her friends didn't really need to practice these abilities to hide from a hungry predator in a game. These are their natural abilities. Now let's take a look in the Marine Life Gallery of the museum to see if we can find some of the animals from our story. Now let's look at a model of an octopus made out of glass. Doesn't it look lifelike? This model was made 150 years ago by a glass artist, Leopold Blaschka. And here's a photo of the live octopus to compare. Let's think about how Octavia was able to avoid the hungry predator. Octopuses are amazing at camouflage. They have specialized skin cells called chromatophores for both color changing and light reflection and refraction. They're able to blend into their surroundings this way. Predators in the water can go right by them without ever seeing them. In simple terms, they are able to hide in plain sight. Most octopuses can release thick blackish ink in a large cloud to aid in escape from predators. The ink will obscure its attacker's view, giving the octopus time to swim away. Octopus ink doesn't just hide the animal. The ink contains a substance that dulls the predator's sense of smell and taste, making the fleeing octopus that much harder to track. And when sprayed in a predator's eyes, this chemical causes a blinding irritation. The octopus escapes, and the predator goes away with a hungry belly. Isn't nature amazing? Thanks for joining me today. See you next time.